Hello everybody and good afternoon. My name's Iris Smith and I'm the owner of a small little business called The Flower Patch, where I make beautiful artificial flower arrangements from door wreaths, door swags, things for the home decor, things for your garden like hanging baskets, wall baskets, plant pot arrangements, weddings, funeral tributes, things for your business and much more. Right, today guys, thank you so much for all your wonderful messages concerning the arrangement that I did yesterday on the UK bank holiday Monday. I really enjoyed doing it and it's a keepsake. So I may take it apart in the end and, do another one. If people give me things like Sandra gave me the black harp, what her husband made me, I may take that apart and add different colours and do a different style as well with it. I do things like that. So, and like the swan in the corner, I did take that apart a few weeks back and made it smaller. Anyway, I did have a lady who texted me on my YouTube channel stating that she heard that I do sympathy flowers and she would like me to do one for some of those people who are interested and would like to learn. I know it could be sad times, guys, and some people don't like to watch people do sympathy flowers, but there's gonna come a day, honestly guys, I used to say the same thing, there's gonna come a day where somebody's gonna ask you to do something for somebody's sad times. There always is. And I used to think, no, they won't ask me. They did, and when I got into it, it was one of the first, apart from bouquets was the first thing I got into. Then I moved on to funerals and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So we're going to do one. We're going to honour the lady's wishes. I told her to keep an eye out for a video, so we're going to do one today. And we're going to do one on a love heart. Something that a lot of people tend to ask is a love heart or just a round, flat, posy arrangement with a floral arrangement on top. And maybe a ribbon across the centre. Right, I have got this. This is what when I did real flowers. Now you can get these love hearts, bigger obviously, where the oasis comes to the edge. This did come to the edge, guys, but I wanted to shrink it. I wanted to shrink the love heart. I have to be careful with this oasis, guys. It gets everywhere. In fact, because it gets everywhere, I think I'm gonna put my pinny on because it is a nuisance. Let's see, guys. I think it's in here. Hello. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, honey.
You're welcome. So I'm going to do one place on my pinny. That was the lady who I did the fresh flowers for this morning. My neighbour round the corner. For her other friend whose husband has passed away. She wanted to send her a bouquet of flowers. And I said, she knows I don't do real anymore, but she pleaded with me. And I can't say no because she's a lovely lady. So, I never thought to get the pinny out, I kept saying though on another video, I love pinnies, mate. Call me old-fashioned. It's green and it gets on your tops, guys, and it is a mess. So, as I was saying, I've cut round this and I was on about the poly ribbon on the other funeral arrangement of the football I've done. Well, I know I've got it in yellow. I've got it in yellow and blue, which is already made. You can buy it in bags, and I've got one here, and it is already made for you. So you can stick it around the sides here. I thought I want to lie mine down like so. Hence the reason I'm cutting it, because I want it to lie flat. I don't want it to lie down. So that's the reason I've cut the Love Heart smaller. Didn't I do a good job? And I just did that by eye, guys. I never measured it, nothing. I just got my floral knife, what I used with fresh flowers, and I just cut. Above, I looked. You may see the marks from the knife, and I just did it that way. Oh, I can see one mistake. That bit's thinner than that bit, but you not see that when I've done. You not see that when I've done. So, and this Love Heart, and again, this is for fresh flowers. The tallest part, let me make sure is 15 inch, and the widest 15 by 15. Highest point to the widest point is 15 by 15, and that's how they measure them. So, and you can, when it comes to actually doing this for a funeral, you can cover this. And guys, you can either cover it with wreath wrap, aspidistra leaf, and this is to protect the foam, or even cling film. I don't know what you call cling film. Food wrap, is it, guys, in America? I've got some in here. I've got everything in here. Kitchen sink, guys, I think. But we call it cling film. So I'm not really too sure what you guys call it. So in America, let me know. Give me a text later on, guys, when the video's out. But it's that, what you wrap around and it sticks tightly to things like so, like around your food, anything. Or you can cover it in that and just protect your foam from obviously the weather. Oh, I've got to get up again. I've just dropped my flowers. So, I have got a bit of dried foam that we're going to use. Now, I don't need that much. And I'm going to cut a piece off, and we're going to place it around here, because I want my flowers to lift up off of the green foam. So, again, here I go. It's a good job everything's just next to me, guys. Coffee. So, that's quite cold, that. I'm going to cut that, because this is an oddment, and this is why I saved some little bits. Because that has got holes in at the bottom, and I don't want that. So let me just, and when I smooth this to make it look like that, I just rub two pieces, rub them together, and it smooths it. And I don't want it that high. I can see one piece is just slightly out. Now let me measure. Now with funerals, guys, I'm very particular with the measurements. So I have to measure the depth. So that's 1.5 inch. That's 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. Right, so let me just smooth it again. It's not, I know you're not going to see it, guys. It's just that I just want it. It's just, like I say, I'm very fussy. So now we have that. That's going to sit there. I don't want those because they've got holes in. So, as you can see again, this is what we are going to use, and this is what we're going to put on first. Some people put it on last, some people place it on first. Now, I like to place it on first because we will be placing moss pins in to hold it down. And I don't want to see those moss pins. So when we place our flowers in around the edge, if I can do it this way, because this little bit here is a crease, so it bends. So you can place your moss pins up here, or if you have it flat, again in the same position. I like to sometimes overlap that. So I'm placing them like that. I will start from the bottom, but I just want to show you. Oh, it does get in the way. So like that. Again, I could bring it like that. So my florals, as we're using yellow carnation picks. Let's just get one out and we'll show you. And they're already on their own picks. So I want it flat like that, and I want that flower to cover my moss pins like so. You can have it more forward and so like so you can see the ribbon. I might bring it forward a slight bit, but this one on the bottom is harder, so it's more like hard polystyrene, but that we'll get to. So that is our ribbon and our main floral that's sitting on this love heart. So the flowers for this, which I'm going to wrap in wreath wrap, for the foam, let's just a bit of foliage. Now I have got bits out. I'm not going to be using all this, guys, at all. I've just got some bunches out. And I'm going to bring it all up here. So I wasn't quite sure. Because it's going to be in purple and yellow. So we've got very pale lilac. I know I brought the bunch, but we may only use 1 or 2 out of here, maybe 3, because they are small. So we've got our purple or lilac roses. We have got, I'm going to be placing these others on picks, but we have got, this is hornweed, but I like to call it globe fern because hornweed sounds better than a weed, really. I have got erygnium. I brought 3 out again. I bought 3, a minimum of 3 of everything, but I could only use 1. I've got out 5 pieces of my white. I want a bit of white, the heavenly colour, purity, you know, going up to the clouds. I tend to bring in thoughts like that. So I needed white, and with these being round, fluffy a bit, these ranunculus, they remind me slightly of clouds. So I'm using some of those. I have got some little bits of eucalyptus cinerea that I may use. These are just oddments. I have got my gypsophilia. These are the flocked ones. These are beautiful. Out of all the gypsophilia guys I've had, these, not just in this colour, but in the white, in the yellow, in the red, blue, any colour you can get hold of, pink. These are the best. I don't know if you can see, but they are so detailed for Gypsophilia. They are outstandingly fabulous. So if you can get those, guys, grab them. I have brought some fern. I think 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3. No, I've got 6 out. But I've got some Himalayan maidenhair fern because I want to bring the fern coming off, going down onto the actual floral, the yellow flowers. I've got the odd bits of wispy I've had left from the other day. I'm not going to use all these. I'll use some of them for the airiness, you know. It's a bit groundy looking, you know, from the ground. You resurrect. I have got white as well, so for some little daisies again, miniature daisies from the ground with the swordgrass. What I always say for funerals, points up towards the sky, and that's where you'll be travelling. Sorry, I'm just like that. And then I've got some birch. I've only got 1 stem out. Again from a foliage. I'll just be snipping little bits off. I won't use all of it, guys. I shouldn't use all of it. I've got a little bit of lavender again for the length, you know, to spread around on it as well. And finally, I've got this coloured purple to go against the yellows, roses. Slightly bigger, more open. I have steamed a couple of them ready. I think 3. 3 I steamed. Those 3. 1, 2, 3 at the front, in case I use 3. So that's what we've got today. But first of all, we are going to do. Let me take this out of the bag, guys. I can't be doing with the bag. The bag ruffling away at my side. I'm not really into it. Right. In fact, first of all, let's wreath wrap around here. I haven't got no more yellow ones, but those yellow carnations should be more than enough. Right, so with the wreath wrap, again, you can get this off Amazon. It's, I mean, I got this off my wholesaler, as I think she's charging £2 or £2.50 for 1 roll. I think that was from Lily Jades, a lady in the UK. She doesn't ship to America. I did ask on behalf of another subscriber who lives in the States. So I'm going half on the Oasis and half off, and I've placed a moss pin. You can place in a floral pin and just make a U-bend in it if you like, and then I'm just going round till I've gone all the way around. Just give it a little bit of a pull, guys, just so it doesn't, you know, have any holes in or gaps, until you've got half on, half off again on the opposite side. So like so. Then just place another pin in. Just cut underneath the pin, and now wrap this in like you would a parcel. You can either, you know, place a pin in if you wish in the centre just to hold it down, like so, or you can hold it. But just wrap it like a Christmas parcel, fold it over. I mean, I don't wrap mine this, you know, my Christmas parcels neat anymore, guys. I used to. I really did used to. Oh, I used to put ribbons on. Everything. Right, and now go And I'm not going half on. So just one moment. That's too not straight enough for me. And you don't need to go over the edge on this one. You can. Some people, again, as I state, do sellotape it. I don't, because the sellotape does wear and the stickiness on the sellotape does come off. I've tried it, and it's not good enough for me. Unless there's something out there what's better, like double-sided, strong electrician's tape. But again, that's that. So that is our little block of foam, which we are going to place on like so. So we don't need that. So let's get back to our ribbon. Oh, I need the the moss pins. Let's just move things over there, guys, so you can see. I can make this by myself as well. Let me just snip that there. Right. Now I'm going to have it laid down like so. I'm just going to bring a little bit over the side, and I'm going to push that flush. I've got a piece of foliage in there. And I'm going to stick my first pin, and I'm going to go as close to this side as possible. This is very stiff. Sometimes you may need scissors or something to push it in. Right, you can still see that because I don't want that popping out through the back. Now you've got to do this all the way around. I don't mean on every square, guys. That's not needed. But I do like it where it's neat, it's flush up to the edge. It's very... I have it. And then again, bring it up. I've left 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll place another one. Again, if you're finding it hard to push in, sometimes I do, get your scissors, or I've got these flat, straight things, pliers. I get those to help me push it. 1, 2, 3. Again, I'm placing 3 in. 3 in. I'm doing it every 3 to 4, I'll say. And I'm placing the moss pins at an angle. I'm not going straight down. They're going in towards the foam. Now, as you can see, we are coming around the edge, the corner, or the circular shape. Now you still do the same here. Do place your pin, excuse me, and let me just have a drink. Excuse me, guys. Place your pin where it is on the bend. Don't wait till you've gone around and you're on a straight piece. Place them on the bend, like so. I'm holding it down, and where I see the bend is that needs the most, I will place it on. And I keep doing that, going around, and then as you notice, these will spread open slightly. That's the reason they are pleated. So when you do go around circular shapes, they will open up to allow you to not have to keep cutting little bits off, just to go around. So that is normal. So don't worry, guys, if you think, oh, that one's slightly more open than the others. And just again, now when I come to this corner bit, I do chop it. So because you can't go in and then go back over to come out. So just make sure there's none come through. No. So then I'll just go around here. I'm not doing it fast, guys, because I don't want to be, you know, quite confusing to especially people who are just starting out in funeral work. And now, as you can see, I've got a little bit of a lip. You can either be flush to the corner with that and stick it in. Now that is what I do, because then I know that that isn't going to have a gap. So if I show you slightly closer, you've got that where it's slightly longer and it doesn't finish flush, it's coming up. But when you press it down, it goes down. So press it down quite far and then stick your pin in, and then your next ribbon will come over that to come around. So it's hiding it, but it's also making sure that you have covered your space. And then I will place in two. It's all right, I've got bigger ones here and I don't want to use the big ones. And I will place in two, because otherwise it will just stick up. So if you can see, like that, so it's flat onto the bottom. So then now I'll get this again. And because I've cut it neatly with that fold, I haven't left any hanging over. Then I can start right in the corner and place another pin in. I just, like so. So as you can see, that is in there, covering the one underneath. So now we are going to go around to the bottom. And we're going to do the same. We're just going to keep it up to the side. We're not going up it. And again, if you've got any health issues with your hands, use something like this to just give you that extra little help to place it in. And even if you haven't got health issues and you find it a bit awkward, again, just use something like this, or sit flat part of your scissors to push it in. So again, now we're going around the bend of it. So because we're going around the bend, I always place a pin on the bend part. Like so. We just again keep going down. Let me just chop that to there. Again, this might be a long video, guys, but I just do want to make sure, again, because for some people starting out, I don't want to rush it. Funeral work I find is very precious. I'm not saying that other things that I do are not. Everything is precious, but this involves, you know, somebody's sad times and loss of a member, a loved member. And let's just place that one. Now we're coming to the end. Let me just, oh, that's not gone in, that's bent. I thought there was something wrong with that one. Now you have there, now you, as you can see, you have this hanging over. Now I've still got that bit there. Some people join this or make a V shape, especially if they're doing it by themselves. Because this is pre-made, I finish where it started along here. So I will go and cut it there. So it's just overlapping, and then stick in another moss pin, floral pin. And because it's got a little bit of a, again, I'm very funny, guys, it has to be straight. So that is your overall look. Got a moss pin stuck on the bottom. So that is what we have of our, okay. You may see this at the moment, but once the flower's on it, it will flatten some of that. You can, if you wish, again, double up. Some people like to double it and do the same thing and then go. But bend this crease here, the small little bit here, which is basically this bit at the top of the stitching. Bend that over and double and go around and double it. So you can do it like that. I'm not going to do that on this occasion, guys, because it's, you know, we could be here all day, as much as, you know, if it was a customer's request, that would be fine. I would do it, but it does look pretty with it being there as well. If you can see, we've doubled up, but I'm not going to do that today. So let's just wrap our ribbon. I think I got this in a, does it say on the bag? I think the bag was, oh god, I think it was the 40 or 50 foot of ribbon. Again, I've only got it in this colour blue and a bit of red, not much. I think a bit, and only a tiny bit, not enough to do anything with really. Right, so that is that. So now we have completed that. Let me just get my brush. You can get a brush or a hairdryer just to blow all your green oasis, or because it is wet oasis and it does get everywhere. So now I want that excuse me there. Let me now get, if I get a couple of big strawberries. Now these stems that I keep from when I'm cutting, well, that was a flower and I only wanted it there and I chopped that off and I was left with all that stem. I save these. For you new beginners, I save them because these come in handy for this, or even attaching another flower on. So now we all know that this comes to there. So I'm going to put a 45-degree angle. I'm going to cut it there, put another 45-degree angle, cut it there. I'm going to place this right through the centre, one there, and that is going to hold my foam onto the oasis. Now you can glue it on, but I sometimes glue it on, not all the time guys, because with it flaking this oasis very, very easily, because it is for wet flowers, you know, real flowers, it tends to lift off. So I use these and what I do is dip it in some glue and I just place it through the centre all the way to the bottom, if I can get it through. There we have it guys. Now that is into the one at the bottom. Let's just get the glue string off. And here's the other one. Again, place glue on the end. And you have to really, gosh, I've got slippy hands. One moment guys, it's going. There we go. Let's see if I can push it a little bit more. Now I've done that, I'm going to snip it at the top and that will be hidden. And that stays in place. It's slightly moving, but it's not going to come out. That's in there. If you still feel, I mean, I don't, because I know it will stay. But if you still feel, I haven't got my hot glue gun on, guys, that it's wobbling and you don't like it, put a bit of glue underneath. You see, it's not sticking really to it, and hence the reason I don't use it. It's not really very good on Oasis. Now let's just let that dry. I'm just going to hold it, guys, while I get this off. And then we're going to start with, see how it's lifting up? I don't know if you can see. I'm pressing it down. As soon as I let go, it lifts back off. So it's not really very, it's a waste of time really, I find anyway. Some people may like, you know, just still do it. That's fine, you know, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't do it. You know, everybody's got their own technique and what they find is much, much easier. Right, we're going to leave this square little dried foam to last. We don't need those now, and we don't need those. Oh my good gracious me, what's wrong with everything? Oh, we might need the scissors, sorry, because I'm very particular. I like to trim edges if they don't look straight. So we'll keep those out. Right, and what we are going to do, I like to start around the edges first. And then I know that whatever, I've got my edges superbly covered. In here, you can cover majority with your foliage by using this block. If you want to cover more because you haven't got enough flowers, grab another piece of dried foam and place it under here, or place another one here. So you've got two florals and your main flowers here, or elongate this and just have it coming down a little bit more by adding another piece on. But you can actually manipulate that to how you want, but your edges you can't. You need to keep those all covered. So all I do, I start from the bottom and I go all the way there. So that is covering. Again, you can't barely see my ribbon, but it's there. Again, if you wish to double up with your poly ribbon, you can double up. Or I've got yellow straight, or you can just get this straight coloured yellow and just place on just the single yellow, poly ribbon without putting any pleats in. So now you need to get, I think there was a bag of 50 of these, guys. No, 144 of these you get a bag of. And go close to the one you've just placed in. You don't want any gaps in between here. So you need to keep it flush. And again, keep it all nice and flush together. I'll try and speed up with this, guys, because that's all we're doing is just placing in our carnations around our edge. Just make sure it's sitting beautiful on top of, whoops, that one's come off, on top of the ribbon. You don't need to leave, you know, have it really tight, as in where the green is on the back. You don't need to have it like touching. It's these you've got to place next to each other, so they can just be sat overlapping about 1/2 inch. That's it. It's not the plastic green at the back that you need to touch. Oh, what have I done with that? And now I'm coming into the centre. I put one down through the centre, but I don't place it in like so. I place it in that way. So it's like that. So it gives you then that shape of the heart. Because I do place them in, I hold them like that and place them in horizontally. I know there's not really a way to place them in because they are round. It's just how I hold them. As you can see, it's dipped, and then that is come in to overlap on, if you can see, onto my oasis. Just get some out. It reminds me when I did the fresh flowers, guys. I used to sit and do them like this. Especially the pose, you know, the flat poses. Again, I'll just try and get these done around the sides. Yeah, you can get these carnations from eBay, Amazon, you know, places like that, or any floral, artificial floral wholesalers, if they do them in bulk buy. You know, if you go on and to artificial wholesalers, just put carnations bulk buy, carnation picks, should I say. If you put picks in, guys, then this is what will come up. See, I'm making it neat so they're all touching. And one more. Like so. So now you have gone all the way around and you've got your little edge around there of your love heart, and they are all up close to each other. I've got, oops. So now we are going to fill in all of the love heart. So let's get out all our picks. I have done tribute names, and now with this, now I don't just place them in any way. I go back round, but I go down vertical. So I'm going around again, and I do it like that. Again, do the same procedure, but make sure now this time they don't just join up together on the top, they join with the ones on the side as well. So you have to check they're joined together. So you go near to the edge, about ½ an inch to an inch near to the edge. And you do that again, going all the way around. And it doesn't matter if you're going around here, you are going to use this bit anyway. Some people tend to leave this area out. I'm funny. I really, my friend who's a florist who does real flowers, she leaves this piece out when she adds on an extra piece of foam. Because she knows she's going to cover it and she thinks it's waste of time adding things underneath. Now me, I'm the opposite. I always say to her, well, I don't want a fussy customer who's just going to lift up the flowers and see what's underneath and spot the green oasis. So I cover it, because I can, you know, you can get funny customers. I can place that there, that'll go over it, they'll see the yellow underneath. That's how I look at it, guys. If you're going to do a job, you know, I've said this to her, if you're going to do it properly. You know, cover it. I mean, we haven't fell out over it, you know. It's just, again, that's her way. Everybody has their own way. And again, now we're going all the way around, making sure it's meeting together and with the ones on the side. And again, I'm not going down. It's all right, I've got lots of glue strings following me. I'm not going down when I'm placing these in, the picks. I'm going at an angle like that, not down. So I'm going at like a 45-degree angle in, so it goes under. And at the end, if you find any little bits that you think, oh, there's a gap there, there's a gap there, you can use bits left and fill them in. Whoops. What's a daisy? Okay, some people may find this quite tiring. Well, not tiring, boring, because you're just doing one thing. I don't. I find it lovely. Hence the reason I started with funerals, because funeral flowers, because they are, I started with things like this. I didn't start with the big casket sprays, to, you know, that came after I conquered other things to do with funeral. And it was the casket sprays I was dying to do, if anything. Oh, that sounds awful, doesn't it? Dying to do. That I was wishing to do. And then when I, you know, did the little poses, we call these poses love heart poses, things like that. And then they got me onto the lettering, doing the same thing with the letters, you know, like the word mum, dad. Then it was things like the this, you know, as well as the lettering. Well, these before the lettering. Because the letterings are a bit more time consuming because you have to get in between each letters. You know, especially if you've got a letter A. Right, so that's our second row. So again, we're going round again, doing exactly the same, guys. You see me doing that, it's because I've got spiders, I call them spiders web, but glue strings, and I'm trying to gather them together so I can take them off my hand in one. Right, I've got one here that hasn't got a pick on it. So let's place our own pick on this one. It's a bit long. They're usually around between 2.5 to 3 inch long, the stems and the picks. So now we're going around again, and it gets obviously shorter and shorter. Again, but you've still got to make sure that they're flush with these, like in a square. You've got to make everything all flush together. Now we're here, so we go like so. Now some people don't have the flowers on the top. Some people just prefer it all one colour and a ribbon along the bottom, and then just a sash or a ribbon across the centre with the person's name on. You know, in their own colour choice. It's a bit long. So we're near to the end, guys. I can't make out which cat's outside or if there is one. I keep hearing a noise. Again, I do like to keep it really flush. So we need about 2 or 3 more. I think another 2. I like this centre where I've finished really flush as well. Just by parting them like that, you can see where there's a gap. If I did that, I can see there's a gap there. So I want to fill that. I don't want that on show. So guys, there you have your beautiful yellow love heart. So that is like that. We don't need, I've had a look as I've been going around. Oh, there's one there. I could place one more there. Again, check when you've done it. I can see a little bit of a gap there, guys. So I know I can place one in there. Again, I'm doing this as if it was for a customer. There. And just go around, and if you think there's one also that you think you could get another one in because there's a little gap, place it in, because you won't see, once you've placed it in, you won't see that how we've gone like that inwards. You won't see that because your aim is, I've just seen one, is to keep it covered. Yeah. And as, you know, flush and tight as possible. Because you don't want that customer to spot any gaps. Right, so there you have, I push that in better, your yellow love heart. So that is how you do the love heart, or the base part to your funeral posy. Again, we call this a posy. Now it's the florals, and like I say, my friend says you can't, you know, you've only got that. I say you can move those out of the way and place them. That's why I like to cover it, because then, you know, you get that pretty, you can fill it in, and you've also got, it's like a filler at the bottom. And that's how I look at it. But again, like me and my friend, you know, we've got his own ways of doing things. And they all, my friends, you know, always come out beautiful. Right, so foliage first. So I'm going to put in just a little few bits of these wispy bits. Oh, hang on guys, I can see one more space. It's just popped in view. There. So we're going to do our little wispy bits. Now, when it comes to doing your floral, you don't cover all of this. You can if the customer requests, but then all of this is really a bit of waste of time. Well, not time, that's the wrong word, sorry. You're going to be covering it, and you want to see this. That's part of the arrangement. So you tend to try and stick within a certain area. So around here. The wispy bits are okay. That elongates to the bottom. That's fine. But don't place too many in to the point where you've got a thick rectangle shape going down there. It has to be subtle. It has to be, you know, quite a bit airy. And your main feature is on this central foam. Not here, not here, not here. It's all about the center here. So, and by doing that, again, I start with my foliage. And I'm going to go down here. Again, I'm just moving my carnations. And I'm just placing that so it sits nice on the top. Now I want another one here and here, but I'm not going to do it too wild to the point where, oh, we're going to have one right up here, you know, no. I've got some bits on here where I can cut really small. I may have the odd little bit in here. Let's cut that top bit. So that's smaller. I will cut it shorter. And then that I'm going to put in there. Again, I don't want it really, really long. So and then I can wrap my petals from my carnations around it. So you have that. And again, I've got these bits. I don't want these coming out like that. You know, that's not the focal point. So if we can get some little bits again. We're going to bring it like that. And again, I'm bringing it, pushing the carnations out the way, and I'm placing it right at the bottom. And I'm pushing it in as far as it can go to the next leaf. I don't want that, you know, being extended really far out. No, that's not good enough. Do the same on this. I'm just going to go slightly shorter, I think. Yeah. I'm going to get my old punch out because these haven't got any wire in. Just to help me pierce an hole. And again, I'm going to go like that. So now you have the cross effect. If you remember in your head, I mean, this is a sympathy arrangement. Think of the cross of Jesus Christ, the longer one at the bottom, slightly short at the top, and slightly, not too much longer than the one at the top, coming out from the sides. Bear that in mind, guys, and that's as far as you need. You don't need to be going, again, like I say, all the way down here. So you've got wispy bits. As much as I like them, you know, you don't want to go all the way down here and all the way up here and so on. You know, it's only a small piece of foam. We're keeping it around this area and just bits of foliage coming from within. But your first placement is Jesus Christ's cross. If you remember it like that, then that is your starter point. So I don't need no more of these. That's done my job for me. That's given me my shape of where I am starting. So I'll place those on the floor. I want now to use some, again, I'm not going to be using lots of foliage. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it there. Again, I'm using the shape of the cross. I'm going to place these so I can show you. And this is just on obviously it'll be a bit tidier than that, but I will be bringing it up. I don't want it too far down. I may have, I'll keep that aside, who knows, but that is the side. That is bare, there's your arrangement. So let's get, in fact, I'm going to place these if I can. I've got such a dry throat, guys. So excuse me. I'm going to place these on their own picks so I can then cut them really short. So I'll cut that like that to start with. And I'm just taking these off if I can. Some are quite hard. These are really hard to pull off. You can see how hard they are. Right, and because I've cut that pick, I'll use it again on another one. I can't get that one in. There we go. So that's 2. Some have still stopped inside. So the best thing about these picks is because they're thinner on the bottom, if you've got some of the wires still left inside, sometimes you can get the thinner piece in, like so. So you haven't then got to throw bit of glue off me, throw the foliage actually away. Right, so that's the longer part. So, well, I say longer, I'm not going down here. So I'm going to be cutting it, and you'll see what I mean. It's going to be around here. So I'm going just above. Moment. I can't get that one. There we go. It's here. It's not down there. Some people thought I meant the length of what the wispy bit. No, we're coming in inwards. Like so. Just cut the stem to about 1 inch. Like that, guys. So then it's all around there. That is your boundary. The wispy bit is just an extra added interest, but part of the cross again. But your actual boundary is your wider leaves, your birch leaves. I'm just going to have a chewing, you know, a piece of gum, guys. My mouth is really dry and it's, I don't know why it's dry. Right. Excuse me. So we've got our eucalyptus. I may put the older one of these in. I'm going 2, 3, 4. I'm working in 4s because of the cross. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to bring these in between. I'm not making an actual arrangement where it's the shape of the cross. I've done that before, where I've done the cross in the centre. This again is going to be about the floral. Around it. So I'm just cutting the eucalyptus down. They are push-ups, so, and I'm bringing them quite small. I'm placing them at the top of the oasis, around same height, so they're slightly lifting up. And again, I'm doing it in this corner. So that's 1 on the top. Again, I'm placing them near the top of the corner. And because they are push-ups, these, I can make them as short and as long as I wish. I've done them slightly shorter than those. So it's now like that. I hope you can see. Let me just have a look. I've just thought about that, guys, on the video. I get halfway around and I forget about it. Let's bring you in. Right, I think that might be better for you guys. Sorry about that. You won't be able to see me. But again, it's about our project. So it's like that. Now I'm going to move on to our eucalyptus. Not eucalyptus, sorry. Our Himalayan maidenhair fern. I always like to add a bit of fern, whether it be leather leaf, any other type of fern, guys. I do like to add. Now, this one, I'm not going to add too much. I could, in fact, let me get some other fern, guys, because I could cut that right down. Where's that other fern? See, this may be better instead of the Himalayan. So let's get rid of the Himalayan. So these are very fine, very, very fine stems, and that looks better. So I can pull these off and make them much, much shorter. These are rubber textured. So, yeah. So I want 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to measure them with the, I'm going to measure them with this one. So if I just take those off, and I tend to do this sometimes like this, I measure them with the one behind, take a couple off, like so. So then I haven't got to keep measuring. So that is our fern. I like to use this fern for weddings as well, for corsage. Right, with this I'm going to go above. So again, I'm going to cut them, the stem, to about 2.5. Yeah, 2.5 inch. And I'm going to place it. Oh, these may be the stems that move, guys. Yeah. That's the only thing what's awkward about these. So I'm going to place it like so, and just give it that slight little bend, but also at the same time lift it up by bringing it back on itself. So if I show you that again, let me just lift some of this rubber off, because I know it's going to come off if I can. Yeah. So when I place it in like so, I don't leave it flat. I bring it back on itself and then just bend the center of the stem, so then it curves it outwards again, but yet at the bottom it's still lifted back on itself. So I place that one there, put it back on itself, and then curve the central part of the stem slightly back out. Let's just make sure it just slightly curves over. I don't know what that bit is. One moment, guys. It's gone its own fuddy-duddy way. I always get one. And then do it again. From here. See, it's lifting that plastic. Again, bring it back on itself. When I say back on itself, you've got the correct side upwards. Bring the underneath facing upwards, and then bring it back, and then put a little bend on it. And that gives it that curvature. do the same here. Let me lift that. I've got the stem what's lifting up. As you can see, the stems come away from the wire. So let's just cut that off. Bring it back on itself again, so the upside down, the underneath is on top. Press it at the bottom here, then hold it there, and then just give a curve as you bring it back. Like so. That one's in the wrong direction. I don't like that one. That's just got its own mind, guys. So I'd rather do it again, take one out, and then redo it. Do it at the side where I've just gone. Who would have thought ferns can be so funny? So let's keep that there. So now we've done that, excuse me. I'm going to hold on with those. I'm going to put one on a pick. So that's 4, 5. If I just place them all on picks. Right, let's cut these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I could place these under and just give a bit of colour down the bottom. So again, it means taking leaves off. It's easier with real flowers. You just get your scraper and just you just go down with the scraper and it removes the leaves for you. And I'm going to go under here, and I'm just going to come slightly down and give it just a bit of colour at the bottom. Again, I'm all for having a little bit of colour around the bottom. It may look slightly bare at the moment. Don't worry. I'll do the same here. Again, I don't want too much. I'm bringing it up so it's got that little curve again, as you can see. So it's not touching the surface. And at the sides, I'll make them slightly smaller. Because obviously we don't want them going too far out. Just bend that as well. Do the same with this. I'm just placing them under the fern. I'm just again bending them in the center of the actual stem. So that's got a bit of colour going around. So let's try, because I have got 3, I could have done with 4, or may just have 1. Let's try with our main rose first. I'm going to cut it. I don't need that. So I'll save that. Again, this is what I'm on about, guys. If you have anything like that, you've still got a leaf on it, save it. You can either take the leaf off and use it as, oh gosh, I've just realised you won't be able to see. You can take the leaf off and use this as some foliage to place in an arrangement, or take it off and put it on a pick, to use as foliage, or leave it like that and use it as foliage, or take that off and use that as a piece of thing like I've used to hold in the foam, or to you know, place in the bottom of a rose, or of different colour or the same colour which has stem isn't good. So anything like that. So we know that that is around that deep, and I don't want this flush. I really don't want it flush, guys. So I'm going to put a 22-degree angle. That is going in the centre. I'm going to take that petal, that leaf off, because I can place those on, and that little bobble around it, that prong, and that is going. And I want that around that height. If you want it smaller, just place it in a bit more, like so. Now I can use other purples to go around the edge, but I'm thinking that may be too much, because it is quite a deep. Because we've also got our whites, so we're going to use the smaller ones. Oh, let's get some jip in first, guys. I think I've cut a piece off, a couple of pieces off, to see what it would be like, whether I should use it as a whole. No, it's too much as a whole. Right, let's get these in. Again, I'm going to bring that. I could place that underneath, But now I'm going to bring this up. And what we're going to do is place it in, like we're going down vertical, but then I'm going to bend the central stem downwards, like so. So the stem is basically like that inside. So you've got that effect. So let's cut it first. Do the same at the top. And then bend just slightly, not much, because I just want it, I don't want it flat. I'm placing these ones what are coming out of the side nearer to the centre rose. So it looks like that at the moment. Isn't that pretty? I don't want any more of these. I could bring some down, you know, one down here and have it like that. So, but other than that, I don't want to bring any up here because then I'm elongating it. And I don't want that. Again, I would do that if it was a request. When somebody wanted, if somebody wanted the top and the bottom, maybe the sides elongated, then that is fine. So let's get this in. We'll have that elongated so I can give you an idea of what it could be like if you did have that. I'm just going to slightly lift the rose off of the base part. Let's just have a look. Doesn't that look pretty, guys? So now we can either have the little whites. I just need to cut these down. See, because I want some wispy bits. I don't know about the ranunculus, guys, on this occasion. My favourite flower. Oh, let's take this off. And again, I'm placing these all in the four corners surrounding the central rose. And with these having their swordgrass as well, that adds a different texture. So let me just have a look. I don't want it to be too much. Now that may be slightly... Let's take that out and place in a ranunculus. Yeah. I'm just going to do this, guys. And then I could add my own foliage in at any particular time. I think that may be a little bit too much. What could we use in replace? I do like those, but I think there's a bit too much on. I could take the, again, this is the best thing about the push-ups. Oh, plastic. I could take the fern off. I think it's the fern that's bothering me because it's making it look slightly bulky. What about if I placed a grass with it? Again, for that extra texture. I can get it back on. So just, yeah, it's the fern, guys. I'll save these because they've got holes in. I can make my own picks. So it's not the ranunculus. We're not going to be using that. So it's these, but take the ferns off. Oh gosh. Again, that's, as I say, that's quite a good idea, you know, when you've got things like this. I mean, these little flowers are lovely, but I'm just keeping the flowers and one piece of swordgrass, not both. And I want 4, so that's 2. And place that back on. Three. Last one. Maybe. Oh. I know it can be fiddly, guys. So, what I'm going to do now is, if you see that one, and then I'm going to place one here. Just a bit of white again. And then up here, and then up here. So let's see if that looks better. Yeah, that's better. So we're going to place those in. Oh, I got a bit of glue on my face there. So that's that. That's one. But I felt it still. Two. Sorry if this video is going on again, guys. It's just that, you know, I want the lady who wants to learn how to do floral arrangements. I don't want to rush it. I don't want, you know, not to be able to catch anything that I'm saying. I'm a bit like that, you know. I don't like people to end up confused because they didn't hear what I said and have to rewind it. So, it's just... So you have that effect at the moment. Now, I do have our globe ferns that I could me just stick it up, guys. No, they don't add interest. Now let's see with, yeah. I could have sworn I got 4 out. I don't need those. I don't need the jip. And I don't need those. Let me just go and grab another one, guys, because I could have sworn I got 4 out. So we'll have, I'll sort those out after. So we'll place in our sea holly. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to place them in between these roses. If I just, or the central rose. So, I think that may be a bit too long. So I'm going to above the white flower, going in at an angle, but I'm not going too far down. So as you can see, like so. Doesn't that add lovely texture? Again, above the white flower. Bring the white flower under it so that can set that off. And this side. Right, let me just, so that is what we've done so far. Now you can, if you feel, you know, you've got a few elements left, or you want to place in, or a bit of foliage, you know, like some more of the birch, or from the bit of rose that you've got, and place those in. You can place those on picks again. You know, you waste not, want not. We've got that. I'll save that stem. I'm just wiping the excess glue off. Now I can bring that down there with that, so it's not lonely. I've got one there, but again I can just bring one. Oh, mind you, that is a birch, and I place that like that. So we're gonna do that. So let's place in our rose up above here. Again, I don't want it sticking too far out. And then I'll use this one. And we're just going to lift under, line it up with the rose, and just allow a certain amount of it to go under the actual petal. I think that could be like so. I think that bit of birch slightly irritating me. That's better. I'm sure I could get that in a bit more. Let me just replace it. Take the old blue off. Just shorten the stem a little bit. Let's have a look. That's it. Let the rose sit on it. So there we have, guys. I'm not going to add any more. I don't want to lose interest. I don't want to, you know, there's nothing more I could add to make it more interesting. You know, I've done the yellows and purples. I thought we'd do a bit of yellow and purple. I like yellow and purple together. So for the lady that requested last night that you know, she'd like to learn how to do it, I'll start you off with something quite simple. I don't want to go into doing a casket spray because I could do one, but if I did one, it'd be more for the advanced. I'd have to do a private tutorial on that because they can take hours, especially with artificial, because you're chopping. With real flowers, you've got implements or, you know, that, or objects that can help you strip the stems. You can hold them all, snip them, you know, etc. With the artificial, you got, you know, there's a lot of cutting with the wire cutters, and if you've gone wrong as well, yeah, you can put another stem on, but that's a bit more time consuming, you know, especially I think I'd have to do at least a 4-hour tutorial on that if I was going to be, you know, especially because I'd have to explain, maybe stop and start and explain placement and spacing, you know, things like that, to do a casket spray anyway, or a coffin spray. But for something so simple like this, for somebody who wants to just, you know, give a bit of a sympathy memorial, tribute, this is more than, you know, acceptable. It's beautiful. It's lovely colours, you know, the purples and everything. If I bring closer, you may be able to see the purples against the yellows, the lilacs and the deep rich purple, you know, look beautiful together with the sea holly or erygnium. Some people know it as different names. I know it as erygnium, guys, because that's how I was taught in real flowers, but it's also known as sea holly and thistle. But there's different varieties. So this one is the sea holly one, but there is erygnium, what looks very, very much like that. So, but yes, we have, I'll do the close-up here. We have the purple rose and the deep purple rich rose with your sea holly, your lilac rose buds, your little white wildflower. Basically, I like to use some, you know, in things like this, a bit of wildflower for the ground, the earthiness, you know, being wild. The lavender for the beautiful smell, and plus I like to use white for like clouds effects, you know, traveling up to, you know, up above into the heavens. And then some fern, and then a bit of wispiness again to form that cross shape to give you your shape of how you are placing them. And then placing your foliage. I've used birch, so I've placed in the birch also at the bottom, which I used as my boundary. And then my main focal point, I stayed in the center where I placed all of my floral. And again, I've used the eucalyptus scenario as well. And that is basically it, guys, that we've used in there. And I've just elongated that to show you how it can look if you add a 5th rose and you're going down slightly further. If you didn't, it would just be around the center like so. But I've done that for you, just to give you an idea to whether to keep it in the center or bring it down. So you've got a choice. And then you've got your yellow carnation picks. Again, go on Google or anything like that, or your florist wholesale or Hobby Lobby, anywhere like that, and look for carnation picks. And then get some, it's called poly ribbon. You can get it in 91 meters or 91 feet long. It's really such a long thing. You can either make your own. In fact, let me just get one of, I don't know if I can reach. I've got things everywhere, guys, me. So if I could use, oh my good gracious. Oh, it's, and then you'd need, yeah, they are 100 yards, should I say. Some people have also their own ribbon across where the name is printed on, and they, if I just, they have it like so, and then they bend it up like that. They have like a tail end on. They staple that end, so if I just, this is just a rough bit, guys. I'm not doing it exact. Pleat it like that slightly. Have it like that. Obviously glue it on. Then do this, come across and do the same on this end, and they have the person's name in the center. They do that. Or you can do your own poly ribbon, you know, and you can get it like that, and you go like that. If I just start it off there, you just fold it over and then go like so and like so, and then clip it together, and you're just coming back on yourselves, look guys, and you're making that the pleat. And you place your staple where you've folded the crease like so, and your crease is there, so you go over where you've creased it, and you just keep coming round. I'm just doing it rough, guys. I mean, I would do it much neater, and it would be all equal spacing. And then you end up with that, look, guys, as you can see, your pleat, and you'd have that. And you where the staples are, that would be folded, like, you know, and sit like so, and that would go around just like that one is. that's how you do your poly ribbon. I'd have to do, you know, just a little video on that on its own, you know, for the people who want to create their own poly ribbon, who don't want to buy it. But because it is cheaper to buy the rolls and do it yourself. It can be a little bit time consuming, but it is. You get the eleganza rolls, the waterproof premium quality ribbon, 100 yards, and it's poly ribbon. You can get it in any colour, guys, and it is dirt cheap. And this measurement, this width of it is 2 inches, you know, by 100 yards. So 2-inch wide, 100-yard a roll. So that is how you do your ribbon around the size. I could have done it in purple. I should have done it in purple, actually. That would have added to it a bit more. But never mind. But that at least gives you an idea of what we've done. So if I just place up the camera. We've probably gone on about 2 hours, guys. Oh, yeah. But sorry, guys, it's just that I really do like to make sure that, you know, people do want, you know, if they want to learn a certain design, that they can do it. So that's what we've done today's project. I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and sorry about the length of time of the video. And I hope the lady who requested that she'd like to learn something to do with funerals, that's helped you as a basic arrangement to try and do to start off in your funeral arrangements. So and I hope you have fun. So you know, give it a go, guys. You know, whether you want to do it in that colour, whether you want to do it in other colours, you know, just give it a go. Or if it is for somebody, you know, that would be lovely. You can do it all in different colours. It just, obviously, it's not going to have to just be this. The people have their own preferences of colour. I've just done it in this because I knew I'd got quite a few yellow carnations. So I thought, well, purple goes with yellow. As well as white, you know, oranges and reds. But I wanted to do purple because it bounces off the yellow. So I hope you enjoyed that. So please subscribe, share and like, guys. Again, to the world, to the universe and everybody else who you know. And take care and have a lovely day. And stay safe and God bless. And thank you all so, so much. I love you all and thank you for your wonderful comments. All the best, guys. Bye for now. Bye. Let's see if we can take this off. Oh. So there you have, look, as you can see, guys, all flush, all your carnations with your ribbon at the bottom, your little lilac, rosebud and your lavender, your wildflower with your eucalyptus and your sea holly and your little wispy ruscus, your lovely rich deep purple rose and a bit of rose leaf and your birch as well. Oh, and of course your fern. So again, guys, I hope you have fun. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care and bye for now.